Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you are new here, hi, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for continuing to support me over here in these streets, these YouTube streets. Today we have a mid-year book freakout tag. I have not set goals for reading because I'm new to this. I just used to read just to read and enjoy. Never set goals before, but I want to go over some questions because I was tagged in the mid-year book freakout tag. So that's what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and start with question number 1. Some of these questions don't relate to me, but I'll let you guys know. And I apologize for the background noise. I am washing clothes. We're doing productivity sprints right now. And that's what I'm doing, cleaning. So, best book I read so far in 2022. The best book that I've read was Blood Scion and The Blood Trials. These are both action-packed. One is a YA, and I absolutely was obsessed with this book. I loved it. Both of these books are very similar to each other. Both are action-packed. Both have to deal with magic within their blood. Both was raised by their grandfather. Both are battling and trying to survive and uncover a lot. So these are the best books that I would say that I've read this year. But both of these are amazing. So adults, YA, absolutely love them. Really, really enjoy them. I would also say The Mistborn Secret History by Brandon Sanderson is a novella. I ate that up, okay? Small novella, it unpacked a lot and was like a bridge into the entire Cosmere world, and I loved it. Like, I loved seeing other people from other series all together in one short novella. It was action. I mean, like, it was a lot of info dump, but I also love that as well. So this is number 1 for sure. The best sequel I've read so far in 2022 it will definitely be the Inheritance trilogy. The sequel is The Broken Kingdoms. I loved this entire trilogy. The first book was heavy on just like world building, getting to know the characters, but the sequel and the third book and the novella as well, amazing. I loved it. I loved it so much. This is definitely going to be a reread for me at some point. I'm going to remove all of these tabs. There's quite a few. I even took notes on sticky notes in the book. So I absolutely loved this. And of course, N.K. Jemisin is hands down amazing. The third question, new release that I haven't read yet, but I want to. The Ballad and the Peerless Graves by Alex Jennings. This book just came out. It is on my TBR for this month. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get to it, but I cannot wait. This book was just released in June. I am so excited for this book. It sounds amazing. It's set in New Orleans, and there are dead cabs, sky trolleys, haints that dance the night away. Wise women tried to help keep the order. To those far away from New Orleans might seem strange, but to the Peerless Grace, it's a simple home. And I love this. This cover is so cute too. I absolutely cannot wait to read this. I'm so excited and definitely cannot wait. Again, definitely a book, a new release that I haven't read, but I definitely want to, and it is high on my TBR. Hopefully I can get around to it this month. Most anticipated release for second half of 2022 is definitely BABEL, The Witchery. I'll go ahead and put a picture here. BABEL, The Witchery, Bloodmarked, Amari in the Great Game. Oh my gosh, butcher that. Amari and the Great Game are definitely my anticipated releases for the second half of the year. The biggest disappointment is The Woman in the Library. I liked the way this book laid out. It felt like you were in the present, but then a story was being told. You were in the story, and then it went back into, like, you know, people writing letters to each other. I DNF'd this book. This occurred to me when I read the end of this chapter. Is Cain black? Is that why he lives in Roxbury? This whole time, I've assumed he's white. If he is black, it's that the likelihood of being shot by police is quite high. Okay. Now, as much as I can say, it's not a big deal. First of all, that was ridiculous. Trash. Biggest disappointment. I actually won this in a giveaway in this arc, and I don't know why this is still in my house. I'm just saying. Next question. Again, sorry for the noise. That's my washer. Biggest surprise. Ooh, I can't wait to talk about this. Okay. The biggest surprise is going to be The Betrayals by Bridget Collins and The Binding by Bridget Collins. I ate this book up. The first 2 chapters, I think I was confused, didn't know what was going on. It leaves a lot to your imagination. But this writing is so whimsical yet enchanting. I felt like I was engulfed in the story. And I tell people all the time, when I was listening to this audiobook, I was driving, missed my exit, did not know where I was going. I felt like I was in the book. Like I was enchanted and engulfed in the story. It is beautiful writing in The Betrayals. Again, there's some things that you're just not going to understand, some things that don't get uncovered. It's definitely not for everybody, hands down. But I loved her writing. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I loved it. I love this. I wanted, hands down, one of the best books that in writing that I have ever read, for sure. So, biggest surprise here, because I don't know much about the author. I do know that she has written other work, material in a different name, but I read The Binding, loved it. Lots of twists, lots of turns, okay? Loved it. And both of these have male-to-male relationships, and love that. It's just, the writing is so beautiful. And so I love that. The next question is my favorite author, my new favorite author, and that is Bridget Collins. I will read anything she writes, for sure. Again, stunning writing, very whimsical, beautiful. I was enchanted in the story. Didn't want to put it down. Did not eat lunch. Did not eat dinner. Just kept reading until it was finished. And new favorite author. I definitely want to read more of her work. Newest fictional crush, nobody, okay? Newest favorite characters, it's definitely going to be Lana. Bitch. When I say I did not like the first book, I did not like the second book, but she is a savage, okay? She is out here getting revenge for the crime committed on herself. Does that make sense? I don't know how she stomachs a lot of the things that she does, but I love her energy. She is like, you're not going to play me. You're not going to play my friends. You're not going to play the love of my life. And if you come after him or me, I'm coming after you. Okay? And you don't want those problems. And that's her energy. I didn't even tell you who it was. This is the Mindfuck series by St. Abby. Book 2 is not good. But, again, Lana is, she protecting her man, okay? She gonna protect her man, and she gonna get the revenge that she deserves for the crime that was committed to her, on her, and her brother. And so this is a really good revenge stories. If you have sensitive stomachs to like SA or anything like that, any type of discomfort, don't read it. This story is not for everybody. But the revenge that she gets, and she makes sure, okay, she even messes with people's mind. Like, she terrorizes the town, okay? I am here for it. This is definitely, hands down, one of the best series I've read all year. Again, book 1, book 2 is not good, but there's 5 books in here, and it gets better. The writing is easy to read. It's not all that at all. It's pretty mediocre, I would say, but I was engulfed in this story. I was fiending to know who head she chopping off next. Not chopping off heads, but I'm being overly dramatic, but definitely my newest favorite character. Okay, a book that made me cry is DM Laurie. This is the EOS key. I would definitely say You've Reached Sam, but because I don't want to talk about that, that definitely had me shedding some tears. I'll talk about this one instead. This is a self-published book about a girl named Allie who meets this guy named Eric, who's a vampire. Now, this is more the originals type of vibe than Twilight. Do not compare this book to Twilight, okay? This is definitely giving off adults, okay? This is an adult book. But there's a reunion that happens with family. That's all I'm going to say. And I cried, okay? Shed some tears. And we moved on. Okay, the next question. What books do you need to read by the end of this year is definitely going to be Tomie and Uzumaki. I am working on Uzumaki right now. Well, not right now because I'm filming this, right? But it will definitely be done in the month of June or July. Tomie needs to be read by the end of this year. Hopefully I can add this to my TBR next month, but I gotta get through this. Okay, because it's definitely a lot bigger than this one. So these are the books that I need to read by the end of the year. I also am going to include Saga volumes 1 through 9, maybe even 10 by the end of this year, because volume 10 comes out in October, early October. I definitely skipped some questions, so these are out of order. I apologize. A book that made me cry. A book that made me happy. Brandon Sanderson, Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. Book 1. Loved it. It's a middle grade. Okay, so let's be very clear. It's going to be immature, but the banter, the comedy that is in this book, I loved it. People are not going to love it because they're adults reading middle grade, and they want to rate this like they're adult reading a middle grade. Well, that's not how I rate things. I gave this 5 stars because, again, from a middle grade perspective, this was a really good book. It was funny. I was constantly laughing all the time. He was silly, corny, and it was just giving off Brandon Sanderson vibes. I absolutely loved it. Right now, I think I just finished book 3, and book 6 comes out later this year, so I will be finishing the entire series sometime this year, hopefully. But it was so funny to me. It's so funny. The gifts that they have, the magic that they have, it's weird, but so beneficial to defeat the evil librarians. And that's all I'm going to say. Favorite book movie adaptation that I've seen this far? It's a middle grade book, but I don't remember it. It's something about a library, memory library, story library. I don't remember. I don't keep track of that. Favorite post written this year? Nope. Don't have one. Most beautiful book that I've bought this year is definitely going to be The Final Strife. This book, for me, it's not the cover. I mean, the cover's cute, right? But it's her. It's her. It's the locks. Okay, it's the artwork. Okay, stunning, just stunning. That is it. Mid-year freakout tag. The only other thing that I would say is the goal for the remainder of the year is to definitely get into comics, definitely get into manga, hence Tomie and Uzumaki, and continue networking and branching out and finding new genres to ingest. Okay, am I gonna read more romance? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe next year. But I definitely want to hit those goals as far as my reading goal. Speaking of, just so you guys know where I'm at reading, I am at 102 books that I've finished this year. I'm really proud of myself. Usually I read about maybe 25, 30 books. And that's before I started fantasy. Last year I read over 80 because that's when I started reading fantasy. So I'm really proud of myself. Proud of hitting goals. Proud of putting my face on camera and being with you guys. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you, Brandie, for tagging me in the video. So I guess I'm supposed to tag people, so this is who I'm gonna tag, okay? Whether you have a booktube channel or not, do it on Instagram, okay? Deja. Yep, Deja. I'm also gonna tag Emma Ray, Pat, okay? Dion, Rose, definitely Rose. Erica from The Broken Spine, you know. Shay with the hobbies. I don't think I've seen her do one yet. So definitely tagging her. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing more people and their content and just like, you know. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.